mean, I'd probably lean towards Carlos and Novak.
He never lost a set.
And now all of a sudden he's got a walkover and he has a fresh body.
And just get ready to go for these last 3 matches if he can do it.
Djokovic is deep into the Australian Open once again, and despite a few tense moments earlier in the tournament, he finds himself in a strong position. He has advanced to the quarterfinals after receiving a walkover due to his opponent withdrawing with injury. That might not sound dramatic, but at this stage of a Grand Slam, extra rest can be priceless. While others are grinding through long 5-set battles, Djokovic gets time to recover, reset, and prepare, something that could prove decisive in the later rounds. This is the court where he feels most comfortable, where his confidence is at its absolute peak, and where he has already lifted the trophy 10 times.
You know, last year in his run to the semifinal, lost a set in his opening round match to Basavaredi, lost a set to Faria in the second round, also lost that set to Alcaraz in the quarter. So he went into that semifinal match in much different position than he is this year. Jim was talking about it, absolutely huge for him to be able to kind of get through pretty easily now to a quarterfinal. As you said, has a few days off and just get ready to go for these last 3 matches if he can do it.
Potentially easy into a semifinal, knowing the numbers that he has against those 2 guys. Of the 3, Alcaraz, Sinner, Djokovic, who stood out the most to this point?
Tennis-wise, well, I mean, they were exceptional up until Sinner got threatened in that last match, and he was sort of out on his feet. But that aside, they've all looked great. I mean, I'd probably lean towards Carlos and Novak, because I think Novak's been playing just a hair more aggressive than we've seen him in the past. Last year, Lindsay, when he lost a couple of those sets, he's looked uberly aggressive. I think that's what he needs against a Sinner and an Alcaraz. And Carlos has just been a blast to watch. So, but again, they need to be tested, which I think is coming up.
That said, this tournament hasn't been flawless for him. There have been moments of visible frustration and matches where he looked stressed, even pushing the limits with an on-court incident that nearly caused serious trouble.
Novak was an inch away from not being in this competition anymore. And now all of a sudden he's got a walkover and he has a fresh body. He hasn't had this fresh a body this deep in his slam, and I don't know how long. He almost got default. He almost hit a person again.
Yeah, the ball kid on the left side of the net from his side, he received a ball and slapped it to the left, and which he apologized for.
It's not he should be kicked out, he's horrible, or he got lucky, whatever it is. I've been petulant on the court. I could very easily have made a decision where I hit someone and got defaulted. Very, 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 very easily. And also, I would have known that I messed up. Once you make an action and do something and put yourself in position. So I mean, everyone was super pissed because in 2020, when he got defaulted at the US Open because he did the same thing. And this one at Australia, like, just think about this. The one in Australia, to me, was way worse. He was looking forward. Like, the one in the US Open, he hit it backwards.
He hit it backwards, right?
I mean, it's a 1 in a million shot that it hits someone in the throat. Like, I've done what he did at the US Open 1,000 times. This one where he pulls it and slaps it and it hits a ball kid, like, that would have been, but you put yourself in position to have a judgment levied on you. Very unlucky at the US Open. Like, it wasn't as if it was full of malice. There was no malice involved at the US Open. I don't think there was malice involved here. Were they both regrettable and probably stupid? Yeah, we've all been stupid. He got unlucky at the US Open, and everyone who was pissed, they're saying about someone saying like he should have been kicked out, which he should have, should now say, oh, he got lucky here and he's lucky he didn't get kicked out.
Which he said, I got lucky.
100%.
I was lucky there.
100%. One of the differences, one of the main things with the Open from 5-6 years ago at this point, I felt bad for him because, like I said, we've all done this thing, right? We've all hit a ball, slapped the ball around. We all have. He left without doing press and just left.
In 2020.
Correct. This time he went in, and if I've said this before on the show, if someone goes in and said, it's my fault, there are no excuses, I need to be better, I messed up, I'm sorry. What are we gonna say? It's very different than 2020. That was my main point of, the only thing that I could probably disagree with was you make a huge mistake, there's this huge controversy, you gotta go take the heat. You don't just leave, right? This time he went in and he took the heat. I was stunned. Like, watching it back, I'm like, oh my God, it almost happened again. And this one was worse, but I am happy that like he's not kicked out of the tournament. To barely miss that, and that's an instant default, especially given the track record, right? Instant default. Like, there's no umpire that doesn't default him for hitting the side ball kid, not the back one. The back one is like Honestly, 2020 is way more forgivable. Way more forgivable. He's lucky, and then Menchik, so he's like, all of a sudden he goes from I'm almost defaulted to I'm in the quarters with a fresh body.
The margins are thinner, the rallies longer, and the opponents younger, faster, and fearless. And that's where the real challenge lies. The 2026 Australian Open field is stacked. Carlos Alcaraz is still in the draw, playing explosive, aggressive tennis, and looking every bit like the future of the sport. Jannik Sinner, the defending champion, has been calm, efficient, and brutally consistent. These are players who don't fear Djokovic the way earlier generations sometimes did. They believe they can beat him, and that belief matters.
Playing against Novak is always challenging, especially here, which he won many times, and he knew pretty well the condition. He's feeling good. He never lost a set, and he had the chance, to rest for a few days. And I think at this age, I think he was happy about it. For sure, facing his character, his status as a player, as a champion as it is, the way he turned around sometimes from difficult situation, raising his level and never escaping from a match. That's the two things, I guess, that always Novak does. The thought that I have and the mentality that I have, to put on the court next match against Nole is probably that one. Try, to go for winning the match and not playing the match.
Still, counting Novak Djokovic out at Melbourne Park has never been a smart move. His experience in big matches is unmatched. He knows how to manage 5-set battles, how to raise his level in tiebreaks, and how to play his best tennis when everything is on the line. Tactically, he remains one of the smartest players the sport has ever seen, capable of adjusting mid-match and breaking down even the most powerful opponents. Interestingly, even Australian media and fans, once openly hostile, are showing renewed respect. Some commentators have even floated the idea of recognizing Djokovic's legacy at the Australian Open because of what he has achieved here. Love him or hate him, his dominance in Melbourne is impossible to ignore.
2 years ago when I lost to Sinner, I said what, sorry?
You said after you were shocked with your level, and someone asked you, is it age? And you said you didn't know, but you hoped not. And I'm wondering, with 2 years of hindsight, was it?
If I can recall well, I was quite flat on the court, First couple of sets were quite easy going his way. And I was probably just shocked or surprised with the way I felt on the court and the way I wasn't able to keep up with him. And in the semis of my favorite tournament, but yeah, I guess that's all I can say in reference to that particular match. Age-wise, I think that on a given day when I'm feeling good physically and mentally, when I'm playing well, I can challenge anybody, and I still believe I can beat all of them. If that's not the case, I wouldn't be here. That's rest assured that I wouldn't be here for sure. So I know as well that in case I get to face Sinner, that will be semifinals, and the deeper in the tournament, obviously, the more energy I spend, and I don't know how my body's going to react. The last year, 3 out of 4 slams, it wasn't great. I didn't feel great playing them, him and Alcaraz in the latter stages, but hopefully that can change. And I think if there's, probably best chance here, because it's the beginning of the season and my body's still, fresher than what it would be maybe some other parts of the season.